Hello YouTube, the date is June 2019 and this is going to be a quick list of several budget generic hand traps that almost any Yu-Gi-Oh deck can take advantage of, all under $10 each. This is Karibo right here, which really doesn't make the list but still deserves a shout out because it's the original. So the prices I give are approximate, give or take a few cents, and I am going in order of least to most expensive. And I'll also be trying to give a range of examples of uses that each card can have. So we start off with a Skullmeister, 25 cents for this card. Stops an effect that activates in the opponent's grave. As for meta, it hits Altergeist Melusik, for example, and as for non-meta, it hits Yang Zing, for example. So next we have Gores, the Emissary of Darkness. 75 cents for this card. A free body with an additional token if you did take battle damage. Good in decks that don't play many monsters or spells or traps that like persist on the field. So Battle Fader is the next one, also 75 cents. Pretty classic hand trap here that in the old days could really keep you alive in like any miscellaneous deck, but nowadays is relevant in install decks. So we got a DD Crow for $2. Banishes a card from the opponent's grave. I would say it's a cheaper alternative to Ghost Belle and really hurts any deck that revives or recurs from the grave. So next we have Artifact Lancia, $2 for this one. Stops both players from banishing. So for meta, that would, as many people know, stop Thunder. And for non-meta, it would stop maybe Grand Maju da Iza, or however you want to say that card, or Eater of Millions. So we have Effect Baler for $2.50. Here's where, and this would be the common for $2.50. The list gets pretty interesting in my opinion here because it's a simple effect negation during your opponent's main phase, but it's strong against a variety of decks and is extremely versatile for the cost. So Psy-framegear Gamma is the next one, $2.50. A hand trap that stops other hand traps. Of course, you need the driver with it, but it's a very strong negate and destroy. So we have Droll and Lockbird for the next one, $4. Was much more expensive in the past, but now is probably considered to be budget. Shuts down all searches after the first one, so talking about meta, it would shut down probably like Pendulum Magician, I would say is the first example that comes to mind. For a non-meta deck that doesn't rely on searching too much, it may not be as effective, but ABCs are an example of kind of a non-meta deck that would hurt from Droll. So Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit is the next one for $5.50. One of the only cards here that actually pops a card instead of just negating an effect or an attack. It hits all sorts of spells like pendulums and field and continuous, but also can just hit monsters too. Can be very good, but you have to know it's a hit pretty much. Like Droll, it also hurts Pendulum Magician a lot because it hits Electromite. So the next one is Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. Stops any search, dump, or special from the deck. So talking about meta, that could be Thunder Dragon, the original Thunder Dragon that searches the other Thunder Dragons. Salamangreat Gazelle, which dumps an Altergeist Multifaker that specials from the deck. Talking about non-meta, Melody of Awakening Dragon is an example of a card that searches. Vision Hero Vion dumps, and Dark Magic Curtain specials from the deck. And the last one is Ghost Belle and Haunted Mansion. Ash Blossom was $7 if I didn't mention that. Ghost Belle is $7.50, which stops adding from grave to anywhere. And then it also stops specialing from the grave. And it also stops banishing from the grave. So talking about meta, Ghost Belle could stop Kagari from recurring a spell, Danger Chupacabra from specialing a danger from the grave, or it could stop the other hand trap, DD Crow, from banishing a card from the grave. And then talking about non-meta, Ghost Belle could stop Warrior Returning Alive, it could stop Monster Reborn, the obvious example, and Soul Release is definitely the one I think of when it comes to banishing with OG Yu-Gi-Oh! So that's my overview of budget hand traps in Yu-Gi-Oh! I hope this gave you a good overview of what options are out there and the approximate range for prices for each of them. And I tried to give, like I said, a variety of examples of applications, and hopefully this proved useful. So thanks, have a good one.